So for today's experiment of how insects change, we're gonna look at caterpillars and how they morph into butterflies. For this experiment, we're gonna have to go outside. So let's go and see if we can find some caterpillars. Okay, so this is a crown flower leaf, which is part of the milkweed family. So we're gonna look at the leaves to see if there's any caterpillars underneath. So what we wanna do is we wanna look for fresh bites. So this one right here is older, so there is no caterpillar under here. Over here though, there is a caterpillar, and you can just see this very easily just because it's right there. If you come over here, if we look at this plant, it looks like it was freshly bitten because you can see the milk coming from the leaf. But the caterpillar is over here now. So what we want to do is we want to take this leaf off by pinching it and then lightly pulling it down, and we want to make sure that this milk does not touch us because it gets sticky. Once we have a leaf with a caterpillar, we make sure that we make an environment which is the same as the environment in which the caterpillar has grown up in. So what we want to do is we want to get a box or some other kind of container with a screen on top so they can breathe air, because they breathe oxygen just like human beings, and that we can put leaves in. So the way that we put leaves in is just the way that we had found it. So we want to make sure that the leaf is either like this or just laying like this in order for the caterpillar to feel more like home. So if we look into this box, we will see we have already some caterpillar friends in here, which I have already started a caterpillar farm. So we will put this leaf inside so the other caterpillars can enjoy the leaves as well. Let's talk about the life cycle of a caterpillar. First, a monarch butterfly will lay an egg underneath the leaf. When the egg hatches, out comes a baby caterpillar. The baby caterpillar will eat the leaf until he gets bigger and bigger until it climbs up and makes a J shape into a chrysalis. Now that we know the different stages of a caterpillar, let's compare it to a household item that we know. So this is a pen cap. We're going to compare the caterpillars that I have to what they actually turn out to be. I don't have a big caterpillar, which is right before the stage of a chrysalis, so let's just use the caterpillars that I have now. So comparing this top of the pen, we're going to look at that. The smallest caterpillar that we got today, right here, he's very small. You have to look very close. We're going to compare it. Now, is he as big as his pen cap? No, he's not. Is he as wide as his pen cap? He isn't. This is the length of a full-grown caterpillar right before he goes into his chrysalis. He is slightly bigger, or if not the same size, as the circumference of this pen. Circumference, if you do not know, means the measurement around the circle. Let's go to our next biggest caterpillar, which is right over here. You can look a little bit closer, but he's slightly bigger than the other caterpillars we were just looking at. So comparing this pen to this caterpillar, is he the same size as this pen top? He is not. That's correct. Moving on to our biggest caterpillar, right over here, we're going to measure him or compare him to this cap. Now, is he long enough to be a full-grown caterpillar? Just looking at him, he looks pretty big, but comparing it to the cap, does he look like he's fully grown yet? I didn't think so either. He looks about half the size of this pen cap. But if you look at him closely, he's not big enough to fill this cap. No, he's maybe big enough to fill this little top right here. After the caterpillar grows to about this size and this big, it needs to crawl up to a space where it feels comfortable to turn into a chrysalis, which is the last stage before it turns into a butterfly. So the caterpillars in here seem to like this, so they'll crawl up the side right here and then kind of turn into a J, and this is the first stage of the caterpillar turning into a butterfly. The second stage of a chrysalis is when it grows darker and you're able to see the butterfly inside. Finally, the butterfly will emerge and fly away. Now you know how a caterpillar changes. As we wrap this up, I have a few questions for you that we have gone over, but I want to make sure that you understood what I was talking about. First of all, how does a caterpillar turn into a butterfly? What are the different stages? How many stages are there? When the caterpillar is in the chrysalis, what happens with the caterpillar? How does it change into a butterfly? After the butterfly emerges, where does it go? Use your imagination. Does it go back to the crown flower, or does it go to other flowers? Thanks for tuning in,